Dari Iman Plus untuk anda, terimalah. Perasaan apa ni? Perasaan apa ni ialah siri podcast terbitan Iman Plus yang membincangkan mengenai isu mental health, psikologi dan psikiatri. Saya Zumar Ali, hos anda pada hari ini untuk episod 6 yang bertajuk Between Pressure, Passion and Purpose. Topik ini dibincangkan bersama Aiman Azlan, seorang youth mentor dan penulis buku Unshakable, Unbreakable dan Unfollow the Flow terbitan Iman Publication. Sebelum bermula, ingin diingatkan bahawa episod ini akan menyentuh isu-isu berkaitan dengan penyakit mental seperti depression dan anxiety disorder. Jadi ia mungkin sensitif dan boleh menjadi trigger untuk anda. Anda dinasihatkan untuk mendengar episod ini dengan berhati-hati. Podcast ini adalah sekadar memberi maklumat umum mengenai mental health. Ia sama sekali tidak boleh dijadikan pengganti kepada rawatan mental health. Sekiranya anda memerlukan rawatan, sila dapatkan dari pakar psikiatri di hospital yang berdekatan dengan anda. With that, selamat mendengar. Dalam episod Between Pressure, Passion and Purpose ini, Aiman Azlan akan merungkaikan kepada kita bagaimana kita boleh menghadapi tekanan dalam mengejar minat dan impian kita dengan tenang.
Perasaan apa ni?
Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kerana sudi join sesi Twitter Space pada malam ni. We really appreciate this. We really appreciate that you making the time to listen to this space, and also for you yang tak tahu, actually this is first time Aiman Azlan join Twitter Space and actually speaking dalam Twitter Space. So give him some slack kalau dia tiba-tiba cakap without mic on ke apa. But yes, kita orang di Iman Plus sangat-sangat appreciate dan juga grateful sebab Aiman sudi menerima jemputan Iman Plus untuk pada malam ini kita akan bersama dengan Aiman untuk berbincang dengan satu topik yang saya rasa rata-rata orang yang berada di dalam space ini mungkin pernah melaluinya, mungkin sedang melaluinya dan mungkin telah pun ataupun bakal melaluinya, iaitu mengenai first about pressure, tekanan, and then tentang minat, passion and purpose. So topik pada malam ini ialah between pressure, passion and purpose. So Aiman Azlan akan bantu kita untuk memahami ketiga-tiga aspek ini yang menentukan tentang apakah yang kita ingin kejar, apa yang perlu kita capai dalam hidup kita. But before that, nak dengar juga, since this is the first time Aiman Azlan join this digital space. So Aiman, how are you Aiman? Bagaimana keadaan di Perlis sana? Kita tadi baru je tengok tweet Tamashat dalam grup Kajang mula naik air. So hopefully Iman punya office tak naik. Hopefully sangat doa-doa, mohon doa semua orang agar selamat. But how is things going on with you dekat Perlis sana? How are you Iman?
Alhamdulillah, Perlis is dry. So we don't experience any water level increase ke apa ke. So no area in Perlis kena banjir. So Alhamdulillah, very thankful for that. But I do have kenalan-kenalan, family members dekat KL, so I am a bit worried about them. But Alhamdulillah, they are also fine. Their areas aren't affected as badly as macam areas orang lain. So far my family and I are very grateful. We're here in Perlis. It's very dry. Actually kat sini masalah panas sangat lah pula. But you know, it's a situation where there's no such thing as absolute puas hati. You panas sangat masalah, you basah sangat pun masalah. So just might as well look at the bright side and just say Alhamdulillah, this is all a blessing regardless.
Yep, thank you Aiman. But well, itulah manusia kan. never be satisfied with thing. And benda ini pun mungkin Aiman mungkin boleh bantu kita untuk bagaimana untuk memahami lagi things yang berkaitan dengan minat kita ni kan. Kadang kita dah satisfied dengan minat kita, tapi orang rasa benda tu tak cukup lagi. You have to achieve more. So malam ini Aiman akan bantu kita untuk navigate between tiga aspek ni: pressure, passion and also purpose. By the way, before that, insyaAllah before that, kita sebelum kita menyentuh tentang topik, saya ingin introduce pada mereka yang mungkin tak familiar lagi dengan Impian Plus. Okay, hi everyone yang sedang mendengar. I think ramai yang berada di space ini adalah dalam kalangan peminat Aiman Azlan sendiri. So mungkin tak pernah dengar tentang Impian Plus. Okay, sekarang ni saya ingin beritahu kepada anda, Impian Plus ialah actually imprint kepada Iman Publication. So mungkin anda semua pernah dengar tentang Iman Publication, publisher buku-buku, antaranya buku-buku Aiman Azlan. Kita ada Unbreakable, Unshakable and also Unfollow the Flow. However, Iman Plus pula adalah syarikat ataupun department ataupun satu entiti di dalam Iman, jabatan di dalam Iman Publication yang publish konten yang berbentuk digital seperti kita ada podcast dan juga online class. Online class ni ialah antara main produk yang Iman Plus fokuskan, dan online class ni adalah rakaman kelas bersama speaker-speaker yang anda actually bila membeli online class ini, rakaman ini, anda boleh tonton bila-bila masa saja Aiman. Is a lifetime access. Dan kami sekarang ni dalam data kami ada dalam 7 ke 8 online classes yang anda boleh dapatkan di www.imanplus.com. Dan Aiman Azlan sendiri ialah salah seorang speaker untuk satu online class Iman Plus yang yes Aiman, do you remember Rising Bravely? Aiman Azlan.
I remember, yes, 2020
yes.
Rising Bravely. Can we tease future project ke macam benda tu, you know, macam Marvel movie, tak boleh spoiler langsung?
Yes, of course. Nanti at the end nanti kita akan taste our future project together, Aiman. Yes.
Okay, excited.
Yes. Baik, Aiman. Topik pada malam ini, it's between pressure, passion and purpose. Kita, Aiman, semua berapa orang yang sedang follow kita, I think around 140 I guess, semua orang mempunyai impian. Aiman sendiri ada impian untuk bekerja, untuk some of us mungkin yang tengah study belajar untuk bekerja dan belajar yang sesuai dengan minat yang kita nak, kita minat. Tetapi dalam realiti, the journey is not easy. Perjalanan yang sangat sukar, Aiman. Kadang kita terlalu banyak, especially dengan post pandemic ni, Aiman, terlalu banyak halangan yang membuatkan kita terpaksa on hold minat kita. Sebagai permulaan, kita boleh, mungkin saya nak dengar Aiman share sedikit your personal story. But before that, saya ingin ingatkan sekiranya anda semua yang sedang mendengar ni, kalau ada apa-apa persoalan ingin tanya kepada Aiman Azlan, anda boleh request tekan button mic dekat bottom left tu. Boleh je request awal-awal sekarang ni dan saya akan bagi ruang kepada anda untuk bertanya directly kepada Aiman Azlan selepas kita tamat Aiman telah tamat berkongsi dengan kita. So boleh please request untuk bercakap ataupun untuk request to speak with Aiman. Okay, Aiman, untuk sebagai permulaan, Aiman boleh ke kongsikan Aiman belajar dalam degree biology and psychology di universiti, and sekarang ni kalau mungkin semua orang tahu ya, Aiman is becoming counselor dalam marriage, dalam perkahwinan. Kalau Aiman boleh reflect tak perjalanan Aiman semasa universiti dan sekarang becoming counselor? Have you actually always been planning to become a counselor? Aiman memang target ke dari dulu lagi nak jadi counselor bila Aiman ambil degree biology and psychology? Bagaimana perjalanan Aiman dalam mengejar minat ni? Ada tak pressure dari sekeliling Aiman yang actually membawa Aiman becoming who you are right now? Dan bagaimana Aiman deal with the pressure? I think we can start with that.
Cool. Okay, this is a good start. So, quick answer to your question, no, this was not planned. So I think people kena be okay with the idea yang you punya future ni can be literally anything tau. And this is coming from somebody yang looking back lah. I mean, if you look forward, you tak nampak apa-apa pun because the future is a mystery. If you ask a 20-year-old Aiman Azlan, dia pun clueless juga sebenarnya. Tanya, nak jadi apa Aiman? Kata, macam tu dah jawapan dia lebih kurang. So, asking like a 30-year-old Aiman Azlan looking back, I would say that my journey is quite interesting. Dia ada kona-kona dia. So in the beginning, what I wanted to become was a lecturer sebenarnya. Because I berminat tengok my parents become lecturer. So dapat macam best je kan, cakap depan tu, ajar orang. And then after that, I pursue science, as a science stream sebagai pelajar sekolah menengah. And I become interested dengan science pula, nak jadi scientist. And then I go into biotech. Kononnya because I want to do some changes in terms of food technology and something about halal technology. And then selepas tu pula I discovered psychology one summer dekat Canada by chance lah juga lebih kurang, because waktu tu nak cari elective sebenarnya, nak cari something yang nak tambah dalam kredit. So ikut universiti punya sistem, you kena ambil elective, wajib, kalau tak boleh grad. So elective tu kena luar daripada you punya bidang ataupun luar daripada you punya program. So I tengok, jumpa psikologi, first year, psychology 101, and macam menarik je. And I took it. And I took it, speaking of pressure, right? I took it against my friends punya advice tau. My friends, yelah kan, bila kita nak ambil subjek tu, kita tanya kawan tu kan, you ambil subjek psikologi kan? Macam mana subjek ni ya? Alah, macam kita nak beli barang Lazada lah, tengok review dulu. My friends kata jangan ambil psikologi ni, jangan ambil. Dia kata profesor tu susah lah, apalah. Dia macam-macam lah dia complain. And tipu lah kalau saya tak cakap yang saya tak affected langsung. Memang affected pun. Cumanya, I don't know when it started lah, but somewhere along my journey, saya ni jenis yang suka buat benda yang orang tak buat tau. I don't know when it started. So even though I flashback pun, tak tahu kat mana mulanya. But I think maybe my parents could encourage me to try things. So saya memang suka buat benda yang orang tak buat. So bila orang kata, jangan ambil ni, susah lah, saya rasa lagi lah macam, menarik lah, nak try lah. Tambahan pula, description subjek tu kan, bila you ambil subjek kat universiti, dia ada description, dia bagi subjek ni subjek apa, tentang apa, dia bagi content sikit. Description tu menarik. And disebabkan description tu lah saya ambil. It's about human behaviour, it's about understanding people. I'm like, wow, menariknya. So against pressure daripada kawan kata, jangan ambil benda lain lagi senang. Saya ambil je. Because saya curious, saya interested. And that was one of the best decisions I made in my education. Ambil psikologi first year tu. Because that changed my whole plan waktu tu. Nak jadi biotech punya scientist, tiba-tiba jadi you could say human scientist lah, psychologist. So that's how I changed my major daripada biotech jadi psikologi tu. Jangan risau, itu Ryan. Jangan risau. Are you okay, Ryan? Are you okay? Alright, he's fine. That's how I changed it. And after that, I intend to use whatever I understand in psychology because it's very kena dengan diri saya tau. It's quite rare yang saya masuk kelas rasa bersemangat. Pelik cakap perkataan tu. Masuk kelas rasa bersemangat. It's quite rare. And saya tahu bila saya bersembang dengan student pun, I know it's a rare thing untuk student masuk kelas bersemangat. And I was so into psychology to a point where lecturer 3 jam pun tak boring. And literally ni lecture 3 jam tau. So 3 hour lecture, punyalah panjang sampai tengah-tengah tu kena break for makan-makan kejap. It was so long, but it wasn't a burden for me for a 3-hour lecture because I was so into it. That's the passion that I didn't know I had. So after that, I decided this thing that I'm learning in class ni kan, very interesting about human behavior, about what's normal, abnormal, about maintaining good mental health. I have to do something with it. Bila you ada information yang bagi you amat best, you tak nak simpan sorang-sorang tau. You nak do something, you nak share dengan someone, you nak give back. So I decided I'm going to use this, whatever this is, psychology ni, untuk nak contribute. Now, to be fair, Zuma, I have no idea nak contribute macam mana lagi. No idea. I just know I need to do this thing. I need to use this knowledge to give back somehow. Okay? I don't know how yet. Ini yang menarik ni. I'm not passionate about title tau. Setengah orang bila saya kata, what's your passion? Becoming a lawyer. No. That's an occupation. Itu you punya occupation. I'm talking about your passion. So I'm not passionate about becoming a counselor. Itu title je sebenarnya. I'm passionate about, this understanding human behavior, about, trying to understand what makes something daripada okay jadi tak okay, and how do you make it okay again, and how to prevent things from becoming not okay happening. That's my passion. So even if I end up not becoming a counselor, because again, counselor is just a title, I will still do the same thing. So the action, the activities, what I do, it's still the same. Semuanya what you see on the outside adalah title dia sahaja. So I think the first lesson from my experience is forget title tau. Title tu dia just cosmetic dekat luaran. Passion is something inside. Macam contohnya, you nak jadi lawyer. Lawyer is a title. Apa sebenarnya dalam aktiviti lawyer tu yang you suka? Right? That's your passion sebenarnya. So let's say one day, na'uzubillah, you got fired from becoming a lawyer because you understand my passion is not in the title of a lawyer. My passion is in the activity of a lawyer. And activity seorang lawyer can be applied in other areas as well. So you're not limited to one occupation when you think that way. So that's why my journey ni dia pergi ke tempat yang unexpected, because I have the passion yang sama, but how that passion manifests is really a creative pathway tau. And after this, I don't know where I'm going to go. Will I maintain becoming a counselor? Maybe I change to something else. I don't know. But the activities will still be the same. I love understanding people. I love listening to questions, problems. I love trying to help people help themselves. So as long as I live, that's what I'm going to do. In whatever capacity, whatever title. And that's kind of like my ongoing story lah, Zuma. It's not like ending ke. It's still in the writing phase lah. So I don't know what's next for me, but it's interesting. Very interesting. Does that answer your question?
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Aiman. Thank you for that. It's very personal as well. And I think kalau kita cakap pasal passion and purpose, kita tak akan boleh lari dengan pressure, betul tak, Aiman? Dan I think I want to take this opportunity as well. Actually, Aiman ada menulis tentang perkara ini, passion and purpose. So anda boleh dapatkan buku Aiman yang bertajuk Follow the Flow, owning your life via passion and purpose. Perhaps boleh dapatkan di imanshop.com dengan harga 20% discount. Boleh dapatkan pada malam ini. So selain buku Follow the Flow, ada Unbreakable dan Unshakable juga daripada Aiman Azlan. Boleh pergi ke imanshop.com dengan harga 20% discount pada malam ini, insyaAllah. Okay, Aiman, tadi I was saying bila kita cakap pasal passion and purpose, kita memang tak boleh lari mengenai pressure sebab okay, kalau kita tengok, Aiman, kita ada passion kita, semua orang pun ada passion kita, semua ada impian sama-sama. Tetapi ada perjalanan masing-masing. I think Aiman selalu cakap benda ni. Perjalanan masing-masing ada yang laju, ada yang slow, ada yang dapat cepat, yang dapat lambat. Tetapi bagi kita yang dapat lambat ni, Aiman, it's very pressuring, sangat memberi tekanan bila kita melihat rakan-rakan kita berjaya menggapai impian mereka, dan kita jadi stress sebab they living the life that we are really wanting that. Bukan sekadar itu pula, cakap pasal pressure, kita pula di-pressure oleh orang yang terdekat kita, parents, ahli keluarga terdekat, kawan-kawan kita. Dan bila cakap pressure daripada ibu bapa kita ni, untuk meeting our parent expectation can be very very hard dalam aspek careernya, relationshipnya, betul tak Aiman? I think mesti Aiman pun encounter. And also about financial matter, kadang ada yang lagi kaya daripada kita dan sebagainya. And it can become one of the reason kita jadi stress and anxious. Kita larikan diri daripada masyarakat sebab kita tak boleh nak menghadapi benda tu. Okay Aiman, bagaimana kita nak deal benda ni? Pertama, kalau Aiman boleh bantu kita bagaimana untuk deal benda ni dari diri sendiri dulu. Bagaimana kita boleh nak acknowledge benda tu supaya kita boleh deal dengan diri sendiri. Dan kedua, bagaimana kita nak deal, at least kalau orang terdekat kita cakap dengan parent, macam mana kita nak deal dengan parent yang ada expectation kita ni Aiman?
Well, about pressure, you know, it's hard when you reach, let's say, a certain level of success lah kan. Let's say it's hard untuk nak bagi tahu dekat orang yang sebenarnya nak capai that level tu susah. Orang assume yang alah bagi you semua mudah sebenarnya. I mean, parents you supportive, you kawan-kawan baik, you na. But really, the reality is that setiap daripada kita ada ujian yang either you nampak atau tak nampak je. Some you nampak, but there are others yang you tak nampak. And bila you tak nampak ujian yang dia hadapi, you assume yang ujian tu tak ada. You assume yang dia memang born to be that way, you know, talent dia memang datang daripada rahim ibu dia lagi, dia jadi macam tu. But you can look into history lah. I think that's the best way kalau you nak counter that thinking tu. You look into history towards great people, you baca biografi dia orang, you akan dapati yang sebenarnya majority of them, if not all of them, ada rough experiences somewhere along the line. Somewhere along the line ada rough experiences dia. I mean, kalau tengok Nabi kita SAW pun dah cukup dah sebagai contoh of rough experiences. What makes a person becoming great, you tak nampak. You hanya nampak, dia dah great dah. Which is a mistake sebenarnya. Because that will then make you feel bad about yourself. You akan rasa macam, asal aku susah sangat dia senang je. Well, who said dia senang je? You nampak ujian yang dia hadapi, but you tak nampak a lot more ujian yang dia tengah hadapi tu. Which is no surprise yang kalau kita tengok rich and famous yang kita rasakan, they have everything. Ada duit, ada popularity, ada beauty. How many cases yang kita nampak yang dia orang tak happy? So really, the lesson here is don't compare lah. I mean, comparison dia ada cara dia kalau you reti buat, but you know, kalau compare makes you feel worse about yourself, then you're doing it wrong. Putting it plain and simple. If comparing makes you feel worse about yourself, then you are doing it wrong. It should make you feel more grateful sebenarnya. That's how you compare. That's the proper way of comparing. You look to others and then you look to yourself and see what you already have. You don't see what you don't have, because kalau you start buat macam tu, dia takkan habis. Because there are so many things I don't have. And if I focus too much on that, I'm going to destroy myself, literally. And I cannot focus on the strength, the abilities, the pluses, the ni'mat that Allah already gave me. So pressure is an inevitable factor lah. Alright, everybody ada rasa pressure too. It's just that pressure kita lain-lain sahaja. For example, right, talking about parents' expectation. Looking back, I would say I did not follow my parents' expectation. Let me tell you, parents expected me to become somewhat like a doctor or something, because the typical punya story lah. You have a straight A student, you have somebody from science stream. Obviously, dia akan fikir, oh, dia akan jadi doctor, scientist, engineer. Which, to be fair, I did try to explore those areas, and I did not like it. Not because the profession is bad ke, ada something wrong ke. No. It's just not for me. Itu je. It's not for me. It's for you, but not for me. Sama lah macam counselling. Ada orang macam, kau ni jadi counsellor, nanti lama-lama jadi gila. Yelah, you jadi gila. Saya tak. Because counselling is for me, it's not for you. So don't be a counsellor, be something else. Right? So we all have that pocket of contribution that we can aspire towards. It's just that you need to find the right pocket je. So I did not follow yang orang expect me to become. And to be more personal, let me tell you, my mother once told me, depan-depan dia bagi tahu, dia kata, Umi harap salah seorang anak Umi akan jadi hafiz Quran. Dia tengok saya lain macam je, saya tahu okey, dalam hati dia tu dia mengharapkan saya lah tu. Dia mengharapkan dalam keluarga kita ni adalah seorang hafiz, seorang ustaz. Lepas tu dia tengok kat saya lagi. Saya tahu dia ada harapan tu. I know that. So I did not end up being an ustaz, even though orang assume saya seorang ustaz. So maybe I'm not an ustaz, but I become like a superficial ustaz. Orang nampak muka saya, oh ni ustaz ni, janggut dia panjang. So maybe my mother punya doa tu ada ketermakbulan dia juga kot tang tu. But I didn't follow that. I became somebody yang study science, psychology, but with a I would say a good grasp of the religion juga. Not ustaz level, but still okay to practice the religion. But what about the pressure? Right? Am I going against them, meaning that I am becoming like a bad child? No. Just because I don't follow their expectation doesn't make me a bad son. I still love them. I still treat them with utmost respect, care. I still manja-manja with them, even though I don't follow their expectation. And this is like an art form that I think all daughters and sons need to master. That is to differentiate between fulfilling parents' expectation and being good children. They're not the same. Let me repeat that. Fulfilling parents' expectation is not the same as being a good son or being a good daughter. Why? Because not all expectations can be fulfilled. I mean, you kalau scan you punya life pun you akan tahu. Not all expectations can be fulfilled. People expect so much of me, but I know I cannot fulfill them. So what? Am I destined not to be a good son? No. I am putting my worry into something I cannot control. So I cannot control their expectation, but, and this is the punchline, you need to pay attention to this, but I can control my own expectation. I expect whenever I see my parents, I will kiss their hand. I will treat them nicely. I'll be very careful about my tone of voice. I will speak them with the most beautiful language that I can use, regardless of whether they are happy or angry or sad with me or about me. Their response is beyond my control, but my interaction towards them is totally in my control. Itu cakap pasal parents, but same goes with society, friends, people in your classroom, your teachers. They all expect something from you. And you think by fulfilling their expectations, plural, you are fulfilling your purpose. Sebenarnya tak. Fulfilling multiple expectations ibarat macam you kena tarik multiple direction and you just biar je. And in the end, you will be in the middle, suffering in pain. Orang tarik you in so many different directions. And none of the directions tu, you nak pergi pun. And that's the idea of the book Unfollow the Flow too. Even the title itself suggests something to you. And that the flow that you kata nak go with the flow, might not be for you. go with the flow. Maybe you kena, navigate your sail macam seorang sailor. Jangan just ikut je ombak tu. Now, how do you do that? Well, you need to know at least a little bit about who you are, what you can do, what you're good at, and where you want to go in this life. I mean, you have limited time. We all have 24 hours, right? On average, Malaysians live to become 75, 80 years old, and that's it. So in that limited time, what will you do? What will you do? And that's the crux of the matter, really. If you look at it from the macro perspective, you will see yang sebenarnya what we're doing in the moment too is not for the moment sangat pun. It's for something much, much, much bigger. And the way I envision it adalah at the end of everything, saya akan berdiri depan Allah nanti. Okay, this is how I envision it. And this is how I'm so adamant about making my own choices. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to stand in front of Allah. And I'm going to be responsible for everything that I do. So, what am I going to answer? I have 24 hours in a day. I have 80 years to live. What am I going to answer? And it's for me to worry about myself. And it's for you to worry about yourself. And that's why it's a bad idea to play this comparison game, because you get distracted from your 80 years, from your 24 hours too. You get distracted by too many comparisons. Focus on what matters. And your time matters. Use it well.
Right. Thank you, Aiman, for that. Best, Aiman. Thank you. Saya bit touched sebenarnya because semua orang ada dalam keadaan ni, dalam keadaan kita compare diri kita dengan orang lain, dan that's one struggle already. Tetapi being imposed, kita di compare externally oleh orang-orang dekat kita, macam kau ni is struggling, dan I'm sure semua orang merasa benda tu. Saya juga ingin ambil kesempatan untuk say hi, selamat datang kepada yang baru masuk. Pada malam ini kita bersembang dengan Aiman Azlan mengenai topik between pressure, passion and purpose, tentang bagaimana kita nak kejar minat. Pastinya perjalanan begitu sangat sukar. Kalau kita ikut flow sahaja, lebih mudah macam Aiman cakap tadi. Kalau kita go against the flow, bagaimana? Apakah yang patut kita pilih? Dan kesemua ini boleh menyebabkan kita boleh jadi stress dan anxious. Dan sekiranya anda berasa stress, anxious dengan apa yang berlaku dengan kehidupan anda, kita ada satu online course di impian.com yang bertajuk Are You Sad? Speakernya adalah partner Ikram Aiman Azlan sendiri, iaitu Aiman Amri, dan topik ini, Are You Sad, ni adalah bagaimana untuk merungkaikan dan bagaimana untuk menguruskan emosi anda yang mudah berasa stres, yang mudah berasa anxious. Aiman Amri bantu anda untuk merungkaikan perasaan tersebut dan membantu anda untuk menguruskan emosi dan juga stres dalam kehidupan seharian anda. Anda boleh dapatkan online kelas Are You Sad ini di impian.com berharga RM38, tapi anda boleh dapat diskaun sebanyak RM5 sekiranya anda menggunakan diskaun kod Aiman Azlan ketika check out. So boleh pergi ke impian.com untuk mendapatkan online kelas Are You Sad mengenai menguruskan stres dan emosi anda, insyaAllah. Aiman, you talk very lengthy about comparison, about pressure being compared. However, Aiman, benda ini kalau nak tak nak akan embedded dalam diri kita. Sebab kita dari kecil lagi, I think sebab culture Malaysia kot, dari kecil kita di-comparekan. Mak compare kita dengan anak jiran, mak compare kita dengan cousin, dengan rakan kelas. Kita dibesarkan dalam culture being compared ni, dibanding-bandingkan ni. Dan perkara ini will be embedded dalam diri kita, akan sentiasa mengikuti diri kita. Dan bila kita rasa compare ni, dan kalaulah kita dalam the other side of the spectrum, di mana kita selalu less sukses daripada orang yang kita orang yang di-compare dengan kita tu, akan wujud satu rasa insecurity. Dan insecurity ni lah, Aiman, yang saya rasa sangat-sangat semua orang struggle untuk membuang rasa insecurity di dalam relationship, di dalam tempat kerja, di dalam kelas dan sebagainya. Aiman, sepanjang Aiman menjadi counselor, jadi youth mentor, apakah yang kita boleh buat untuk kita menguruskan ataupun buang rasa insecurity ni dalam diri kita?
Alright, good question. Oh, first of all, a little bit of correction. Saya kaunselor pelatih tau.
Oh, training.
Kaunselor pelatih, yes. Belum ada lesen lagi. So, belum lagi menjadi kaunselor berdaftar. Masih lagi dalam praktikal. So, doa-doa lah saya boleh siapkan, dapatkan lesen supaya boleh buat private practice. Anyway, itu just a little bit of correction supaya tak ada orang salah faham dia ingat Aiman Azlan tu kaunselor berdaftar, okay? Penting tu. Nanti kan lembaga kaunselor Malaysia cari aku pula mampui. Okay. About insecurity, right? About insecurity. Again, klise lah saya cakap. Everybody has insecurity. Mesti orang cakap macam, oh yo, kau tak ada insecurity yang aku ada. Memang betul pun. Your insecurity is yours. My insecurity is mine. You know. And kita, again, ini pun bukan nak compare juga. Janganlah, kita comparison ni bukan setakat comparison benda baik. Kadang-kadang kita compare benda buruk. Kita sekarang ada juga jenis yang compare masalah siapa lagi besar. Ada jenis yang compare macam tu. Dia rasa macam, oh masalah aku teruk lah. Oh masalah kau teruk, masalah aku lagi teruk. Dia rasa macam bangga pula. Pelik betul. So kita bukan nak buat comparison from any angle. Kalau sama ada comparison nikmat aku dengan nikmat engkau ataupun comparison ujian aku dan ujian engkau. I mean, there's no point because Allah bagi benda tu dekat you. So, mesti ada sebab. Allah tak buat silap. Kenapa Allah bagi kat you, tak bagi kat saya? So, this is something yang, you know, bercakap mengenai iman. It's something kita kena percayalah. There must be a reason why dalam banyak-banyak orang Allah pilih you untuk bagi insecurity itu, untuk bagi ujian itu. There is no point for you to compare and contrast dengan ujian orang lain because itu ujian yang Allah bagi kat dia, bukan kat you. So now, when you talk about insecurity, focus on your own. Janganlah rasa macam, alah, insecurity aku ni remeh sangat lah. Orang lain ada masalah lagi besar. No, it's not about comparing masalah satu lagi besar. It's about you. You feel like you are in trouble. You feel like you cannot function. You feel like you are in pain. Itu dah mencukupi untuk nak justify you getting help, reaching out, improve yourself, talk to somebody. Bukannya kita ada masalah, kita compare, tapi masalah aku taklah besar macam dia, so aku senyap je lah. No. The same way kita compare benda nikmat yang baik, it is the same way kita compare benda buruk-buruk ini, both are toxic sebenarnya. It's toxic for our mental well-being. Because kita yang sepatutnya dah lama dah reach out for help, end up not reaching out for help sebab kita rasa masalah kita remeh. Walhal kita dah lama dah suffer dalam keadaan itu. So your insecurity is not something that you should buang. It's something that you should embrace, face, and overcome. Why? That is probably one of the fastest way to grow as a person. Let me tell you, that's one of the fastest way to grow as a person. Facing your insecurity. Accepting, acknowledging, yeah, okay, aku ada insecurity ni. I have to deal with it. It's mine. Let me tell you one of my insecurities. I have body insecurity. And this is something that I talked about in a podcast with Aiman Azlan a while back. I think it was a year back, February 2020, before pandemic. We had a podcast and I just secara tak plan pun talk about my insecurity. So I had a body insecurity that started when I was 11 or 12, where my body is very curved. Okay, it's very curved. And kawan-kawan selalu ejek. Dia kata, you punya punggung besar. Dia kata, punggung you besar. And it was a joke, you know. To be fair, it was a joke. But itulah. Banyak masalah kehidupan ni bermula dengan melawak. Perasan tak? Dia tak intend pun nak cause you trauma ke apa ke. Dia just nak melawak, you know, kawan-kawan. But then it was the wrong timing lah. Wrong timing and wrong subject. It was something I'm quite sensitive about and kena pula kawan ejek exactly benda tu. So memelekat lah. dia punya effect tu sampailah saya ke alam dewasa. It was something that really disturbed me until I was in university though. It started when I was 12 and it lasted until I was like 21, 22, 23. And it was in my adulthood lah yang baru saya sedar, oh, I have this insecurity and I cannot run away from it no longer. I just have to accept yang I have this problem and I have to face it. I have to deal with it because you lari daripada insecurity ni ibarat macam you lari daripada you punya bayang-bayang. Agak-agak boleh tak? No, it's gonna follow you wherever you go. So might as well you shine a light on that bayang-bayang supaya bayang-bayang tu hilang. That's what you need to do about your insecurity. You need to shine a light on it, understand it, master it, really, really dive deep into the why, the how, the what, the history of it, your thought processes, how it develops and how it manifests. And then you start to work on a potential way to combat the thing, You start to realize, oh, aku selalu fikir macam ni. I'm gonna get a bit personal, so forgive me, okay? But it's important so that you understand that nobody is free of this thing called insecurity. Just because you see me as somebody who write books, talk about this stuff, and becoming a counselor doesn't mean that I'm free of this. And this is something we all need to understand. Pressure is a common denominator we all share. The difference is whether you can withstand the pressure, you can salurkan pressure itu in a way that's productive, or you buckle under the pressure and you collapse. There's only like two possible outcomes. So let me be a little bit personal. When I was younger, like teenager age lah, boleh kata 15, 16, 17, sekolah menengah tu, I was always jealous of lelaki yang punggung dia flat tau. Because I'm very curvy. And orang ejek sebab saya curvy, And I was quite fit back then, but still my body still curvy. It's probably my body type lah kot. I cannot change that. But I still wasn't happy with it. So bila nampak je orang lelaki yang belakang dia flat je, I would always be jealous waktu tu. But then as I realized this problem and I faced the insecurity, try to understand it and try to deal with it properly, I slowly became accepting of myself. And now, even though I'm not like 100% there yet, but I would say that compared to me 10 years ago, I'm way much better lah sekarang. I'm more accepting of myself. I understand it's a body type thing. I understand that it's not something, kalau nak change kena jadi gila sikit lah, nak kena buat surgery ke apa ke. But I don't want to go until that far, sampai ke tahap nak kena buat surgery. I'm glad that I didn't go that far sampai ke tahap surgery. So alhamdulillah for that lah. I sedar before I go that route. And in my adulthood, in my early 20s, that's how I became more understanding of human behavior than psychology. And I first apply it on myself. That's the first thing that you need to do when you learn any knowledge is to apply it to yourself and try to internalize it. And slowly, I became okay with myself. Slowly, And the insecurity dia tak habis. That's another thing to understand. You win one battle, another battle comes, and I think that's okay. I think that's the kind of like nature of life that you just have to deal with, And to me, challenges are the things that make life interesting. You just have to pick and choose the challenges that you want to solve and face. I don't remember siapa yang cakap benda ni. Dia kata, find problems you want to solve. You enjoy solving. And that will be one of the ways that you discover lah, like what your true passions is and what your purpose is. When you find problems that you enjoy solving, it's quite interesting to put it that way. So right now, I'm in a place where I face a lot of problems, but I enjoy solving them. So even though I feel tired doing the work, I feel satisfied. And again, that's not something that you can say. That's not something a lot of people can say. I know people who hate their work and they feel like, bila lah aku nak berhenti? Or they feel like, lama, esok Isnin nak kena start balik kerja. I don't feel that. And it's not something that I'm bragging. It's something that I'm grateful for. And I want all of you listening to feel the same way. And I'm not saying you can quit your job becoming a speaker and a writer. No. Again, title tu tak kisah. You can still be a lawyer, still be a doctor, still be a teacher, a lecturer. But at the end of the day, you rasa letih dan puas. That's the thing, letih dan puas. So that when tomorrow comes, you rasa excited nak start over again. But yeah, in the middle tu, you have to face your insecurity lah. Uncle Zuma tu lah, yang logo Iman, lepas tu ada tambah. Uncle Zuma tak tunjuk muka. Uncle Zuma tak tunjuk muka. Uncle Zuma dia zuhud sikit. Tak ada Z, ada Iman. Uncle Zuma dia just guna account Iman Plus.
Nama awak ni Iman ke?
Right. Hi Ryan. Alright, thank you Aiman for that very personal story. Thank you. Yes. Masih lagi rasa because the story is very personal. It makes the message more meaningful dan I hope everyone yang sedang mendengar ni dapat apa yang Aiman cuba sampaikan sebentar tadi. Insecurity is a very big thing and kalau tak dapat dikawal, dia boleh membawa kepada another issue, stress and anxiety and also worst thing makin teruk lagi boleh jadi depression. Dan if you guys feeling yang masih lagi tak boleh nak mengawal stres, masih lagi sukar untuk menguruskan emosi anda, especially bila datangnya perkara-perkara yang tidak boleh kontrol, saya sangat-sangat sarankan anda untuk mendengar online class yang bertajuk Are You Sad di imanplus.com, di mana speakernya Aiman Amri membantu kita untuk merungkaikan bagaimana untuk menguruskan diri kita, untuk menguruskan emosi saat kita merasa stres dan juga anxious dan juga depressed. Online class ini berharga RM38 di imanplus.com, tapi anda boleh dapatkan dengan harga murah RM33 di imanplus.com sekiranya anda menggunakan diskaun kod Aiman Azlan. Masukkan voucher kod Aiman Azlan ketika check out di imanplus.com. Dan masuk imanplus.com tu jangan daftar saja, anda perlu pergi ke online class tersebut, klik dan masukkan dalam kad, masukkan voucher code Aiman Azlan dan anda buat pembayaran dan anda boleh tengok online class ini lifetime access. Anda boleh tengok bila-bila masa saja, is the lifetime access. So pergi ke imanplus.com, daftar, pilih online class yang anda ingin, masukkan Aiman Azlan sebagai voucher code, buat pembayaran dan anda boleh tonton bila-bila masa sahaja, insya-Allah. Baik Aiman, soalan terakhir saya sebelum kita pergi ke soalan daripada listener. So listener ataupun orang yang sedang mendengar, anda boleh tanya soalan kepada Aiman Azlan directly dengan tekan button request to speak di bawah tu, bottom left tu. Saya ada seorang ni, hey I'm Rini. So Rini, saya akan bagi anda peluang untuk bercakap setelah anda Aiman menjawab soalan saya yang terakhir.
I'll keep it short.
Okay. Aiman, selain dalam aspek kerjaya atau pembelajaran, banyak lagi aspek yang masyarakat kita tetapkan pada diri kita. Expectation, again, I'm touching about expectation. Kerana expectation inilah yang membawa kita, yang menyebabkan kita rasa pressure untuk mungkin beralih arah dari passion dan purpose kita. Dan kita rasa pressure bila dah set expectation ni, kita pressure untuk mengikutinya. Contoh antara expectation yang society impose kepada kita, kena kahwin pada masa ataupun umur yang tertentu. Bila dah kahwin, kena ada anak. Kalau dapat lambat anak dah kena jadi isu lain pula. Perempuan
ada certain mold, lelaki ada certain bentuk yang kena jadi. And nak tak nak, memang bila dah 30-an, I think they are matured enough already. Tapi yang banyak merasa expectation ini, pressure daripada expectation adalah remaja. Dan Aiman, saya yakin ramai follower anda adalah dalam lingkungan umur-umur ini, remaja ini. Ini menyebabkan mereka sukar, satu, untuk tentukan passion dan purpose mereka. Yang kedua, bila dah tahu passion dan purpose mereka tu, mereka tak dapat pula nak follow sebab selalu berlanggaran ataupun clash dengan apa yang society expect mereka jadi. Aiman, soalan saya, bagaimana mereka, remaja ini ataupun listeners ini boleh mencari passion dan purpose mereka, ataupun dah dapat passion dan purpose, bagaimana mereka ingin kejar passion dan purpose despite of this imposing opinion ataupun pelanggaran expectation daripada masyarakat.
Alright, okay, I'll try to keep it short as much as I can. There are a few basic principles that I think we all have to acknowledge regardless of your situation. Sebab soalan ni soalan yang quite dense, because if there are 10 people in front of me, akan ada 10 kisah yang berbeza-beza. Kan, kalau saya jawab specifically for one person, nanti dia kata, kalau saya macam mana pula? Mak saya macam ni. Dia takkan habis. And we have like 100 something people in this space alone. So probably akan ada 100 pula situasi yang berbeza. However, the principles are the same. And remember what I said back then. At the end of the day, you akan berdiri depan Allah nanti. And that is constant. No matter what, that is constant. Remember that. That is constant. And I'm not saying that to undermine your troubles and your challenges. No. Your challenges are difficult indeed. Your trouble is quite painful, definitely. However, that fact still remains. You akan berdiri depan Allah nanti, and you kena jawab tentang what you do with your life. Okay, tentang what you do with your life. That is something constant. Okay, that's basic principle number 1. All right. Basic principle number 2. There are many things in life that cause you worry and sometimes pain. They come from a place where you cannot control. And this is something, kalau you follow saya lama dah, you tahu lah. It's one of my go-to phrases lah. Focus on what you can control. Not because I'm lazy ke apa ke, ulang dia sama je bang. That's a principle. It's a principle for a reason, because it's evergreen tau. There are situations where you akan tersepit and you rasa macam, alamak nak buat macam mana ni? Focus on what you can control. That will actually save you. That's principle number 2. Now, principle number 3 is something that I borrow from a fellow author. Sadly, he passed away during the pandemic. I think last year. His name is Sir Ken Robinson. Sir Ken Robinson is a prominent figure dalam bidang pendidikan. You may not know him, but kalau ada siapa-siapa kat sini yang study pendidikan ataupun research pasal pendidikan, you may come across his name, Sir Ken Robinson. And about 10-11 years ago, I came across his book by accident. Keluar dengan kawan and pergi masuk bookstore and just browsing secara random, and I found this book. It's called The Element, written by Sir Ken Robinson. This was back in 2009. And I was like 20. I was 19, not even 20. I was 19. And reading that book really changed the way that I see passion now. There's a lot in the book, but I can share with you one thing. It's not a straight line tau. Dia bukan yang nak kata you start kat sini, you lepas tu pergi sini sampai dekat passion. No, it's not a straight line. It's really a journey that you create tau. A journey that you create. It's a creative journey. You boleh decide you nak pergi mana. And sometimes dalam journey tu maybe you ambil detour sekejap. Detour ni maksudnya you lari sekejap lah daripada pathway tu. Maybe you nak buat benda lain. And then you akan pergi balik dekat jalan yang you plan to. For example, let me give you one practical example. So let's say ada yang mendengar ni, a 17-year-old baru habis SPM, dia tak tahu nak ambil apa kat universiti. Parents kata, you kena jadi lawyer. And dia kata macam, alamak, tersepit aku. Parents betul-betul nak aku jadi lawyer. Dia tak nak jadi lawyer. Dia mungkin nak jadi, I don't know, gardener. You know, dia suka gardening. Dia jadi gardener. Dia nak jadi seorang yang a botanist ke apa ke kan. That doesn't mean that passion now terkubur. No. You can be a lawyer first, but then you plan your way to become a botanist later. Sounds simple, but it is. It is that simple. You boleh create that journey. Panjang pun tak apa, because the goal is not to get there fast. Dalam buku Unfollow the Flow, I talk about life is not a race. Kalau you fikir nak kena pergi sana cepat, you're on the wrong mindset. It's not about speed. It's about arriving. That's it. It's about arriving and it's about heading towards. Let me repeat that. It's about arriving and it's about heading towards. Setengah orang, dia arrive kat situ. Setengah orang tak. But they are heading towards tempat tu. And even if you tak arrive kat tempat tu, but you are heading towards tempat tu, that alone is an enjoyable journey. Why? Because you know you are heading in that direction. So even though you tak sampai lagi, you dah rasa dah nikmat sampai. It's like you nak pergi Disneyland. Tak sampai Disneyland lagi, tapi kat kepala you dah mula dah bayang, oh Disneyland seronoknya. And you know you are heading towards Disneyland. The same way with your passion in life. So it doesn't mean it has to be a straight line tau. So mereka yang mendengar ni kalau rasa macam dia buat benda lain daripada passion dia, it's not that you kena kuburkan passion you tu. No, you may be taking a longer road than somebody else. And somebody else tu adalah someone yang you tak patut compare, remember? Janganlah tengok je, alamak dia boleh jadi engineer dalam masa 5 tahun, aku 10 tahun tak jadi engineer lagi. Lantak dia lah dia nak jadi engineer 5 tahun, you jadi engineer 20 tahun lagi. What's the problem? Tell me, what's the problem? Jadi engineer 20 tahun lagi. Lambat? So what? Why are you in a hurry? So when you are passionate about something, it's not about speed, it's about experience. It's about, tasting. It's about rasa benda tu. That's the enjoyable part. It's like, when you are in a journey that you enjoy, once you arrive at the destination, the enjoyment kind of like disappear a little bit, because now the journey is over. So the journey itself tu pun you kena pay closer attention and really enjoy juga. Walaupun you're not at the destination yet. Because bila destination tu dah sampai, journey is over and you hilang nikmat journey tu. So right now I'm on a journey. Where? Well, a destination that I set. Am I going to get there? I hope so, but I'm not there yet. So I'm just going to enjoy this journey. And I know I'm heading towards that destination. And that's why this journey is so meaningful and enjoyable. Because I know it's heading towards somewhere I want to go. It may be long. It may take me my lifetime to get there. Tapi tak apa. I'm not in a rush. I'm not racing. I'm enjoying the journey. So hopefully that gives some people an idea, the 3 basic principles too, for you to apply to your own situation. They're not like clear-cut macam textbook answer. They're just principles that you can use to apply. So you can apply lah in your own specific unique situation. Now, I don't know your own specific situation tu macam mana. I have no idea. I don't know. But you know. Okay? What I'm telling you is not what you should do with your life. No, I'm telling you principles. The rest, you have to decide for yourself. Another thing that I wrote in the book Unfollow the Flow, it's about owning your life. Don't let me or anybody else tell you what you should do with your life. You decide lah. Right? You decide.
Okay, thank you, Aiman. Thank you. Wow. The end. You decide your own life. Thank you, Aiman. Thank you very much for that answer. Dan saya yakin anda semua mesti lagi dah tahun 2022 ni kan, passion dan purpose aku ni macam mana aku nak kejar ni, minat aku ni, impian aku ni kan. Sekiranya anda masih lagi keliru, masih lagi tak tahu apa nak buat dengan passion dan purpose, especially pada tahun 2022 yang akan muncul tiba ni dengan keadaan tidak menentu ni, saya sangat sarankan anda untuk dengar online class kita yang bertajuk Rising Bravely. Aiman Azlan sendiri adalah salah seorang speaker di dalam Rising Bravely. Kita ada dalam Rising Bravely is a multiple speaker punya online class. Kita ada Miss Nina, kita ada Ustaz Hasrizal, kita ada Aisyah Syahira dan ada I think dalam 6 ke 7 speaker di dalam Rising Bravely yang boleh membantu anda bagaimana untuk mencari jalan untuk menempuh tahun yang penuh dengan ketidakpastian. Rising Bravely ni kita buat pada tahun awal 2021 kerana kita baru je tamat pandemik 2020. Kali ini saya rasa sangat sesuai juga dengan kita pun tidak tahu dengan keadaan yang tidak menentu pada tahun 2022 ni. Saya sarankan anda untuk dengar online kelas yang bertajuk Rising Bravely di imanplus.com dengan harga RM38. Anda boleh dapatkan diskaun RM5 dengan menggunakan voucher kod Aiman Azlan ketika check out. Ketika anda pergi ke imanplus.com tu, anda perlu sign up dan jangan tunggu saja sign up, pilih online class Rising Bravely ataupun Are You Set, beli, masukkan dalam kad, masukkan voucher code Aiman Azlan dan anda buat bayaran dan insyaAllah anda boleh tonton online class ini bila-bila masa saja kerana it's a lifetime access. Semua hidup punya access. So anda boleh dapatkan online class ini di imanplus.com. Baik Aiman, kita ada 2 orang yang ingin bertanya soalan. Satu, hey, I'm Rini, lagi satu Syahira. InsyaAllah lepas je I'm Rini bertanya soalan, saya akan berikan peluang kepada Syahira untuk bertanya. Baik, are you there? I'm Rini. Hi Rini. Dia ada tak? Hello Rini. Hai Rini, ada ke Rini ada kat situ Rini? Okay, kalau Rini tak ada, Syahira ada kat situ? Alright, okay. Syahira, anda boleh, saya beri peluang anda untuk bertanya soalan kepada Aiman Azlan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Saya nak tanya, kalau dah jelas kita dah ada passion, contohnya nak jadi penulis novel, tapi tak tahu nak mula dari mana, apa yang patut dibuat? Terima kasih.
Good question, Shahira. Shahira, just like what I told everyone waktu I'm speaking, penulis novel is a title. It's not what you're passionate about. What is it about menulis novel yang bagi you meaningful? Can you answer that question? What is it about menulis novel yang you rasa meaningful?
Menulis.
Penulis novel. Menulis. Why? What moves you? What drives you dalam menulis?
Sebab boleh buat cerita.
So your passion is imagination. You're passionate about creating worlds, creating like a vision in word form. So menjadi penulis novel is only one way you can do it. It's not the only way, Shahira. Understand? So when you understand that passion is not title, it's not like title kerja tu apa. Like my passion is not counseling. My passion is in understanding people, understanding problems, help them help themselves. Counseling is one way that I do that. You see? So when you say, saya nak jadi penulis novel, tak tahu nak start kat mana. I think you are so focused on the title itself, nak jadi penulis novel. But what you should focus on is, I want to show people my imagination. I want to show people this is how I imagined it. And I'm putting it into words. And I want you to read it. Syahira dah mula tulis ke belum?
Belum lagi.
Well, apa yang menyebabkan you tak start lagi?
Tak tahu nak mula dari mana.
Well, apa yang you ada access? Pen, kertas ada?
Ada.
Okay, itu satu tempat. Blog ada?
Tak ada.
Reti mulakan blog?
Boleh.
Okay, good. So you ada 2 tempat. What about social media? Apa you ada?
Ada Instagram.
Instagram more to picture, but it's okay kalau you nak. You can be creative and do your writing in Instagram, boleh. I can see that happening. So you have at least 3-4 platform dah sekarang. You ada Twitter, obviously. So Twitter is a written platform, menulis. That could be an interesting challenge for you because you ada 280 characters je. So macam mana you nak buat, you nak reka cipta satu imagination, a world where people can be immersed in Twitter. So that's like 5 platform dah, Syahira. Do you see?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So jangan terlalu obses nak menjadi penulis novel. Just fikir, how can I make people read my imagination? And when you focus on that, you akan nampak sebenarnya cara nak manifest that dia lebih sekadar menulis novel sebenarnya. You can even, direct a movie one day, or an animation, or a song, a dance, a theater, a play. There's so many ways you can do it. Just have to focus less on the title, but focus more on dalam aktiviti itu apa yang sebenarnya menyebabkan you rasa seronok dan rasa nak buat lagi dan lagi dan lagi dan lagi. Yeah?
Faham, terima kasih.
Alright, you're welcome.
Wow, that was nice. Thank you, Aiman. And thank you, Syahira juga for asking the question. Sebab tak ramai orang yang berani untuk bertanya soalan dan especially I think about this, mencari meaning dalam apa yang kita nak buat. I think it's very interesting bila Aiman keep on asking question yang membuatkan Syahira grounded sikit tentang penulisan yang dia cuba kejar sekarang. Thank you Aiman and thank you Syahira as well. Saya rasa tiada lagi soalan yang tadi ada Rini and suddenly dia hilang. So I guess itu saja yang kita ada pada malam ini. Thank you Aiman Azlan dan juga semua yang mendengar pada malam ini. Satu topik yang saya kira semua orang struggle, iaitu bagaimana nak navigate through our pressure, yang tekanan yang kita alami dalam saat kita mencari minat kita dan juga tujuan kita, passion and purpose. Terima kasih Aiman atas perkongsian pada malam ini. Semoga sesi pada hari ini sedikit sebanyak dapat membantu anda semua untuk memahami mengenai passion, purpose and also pressure. Jika anda suka dengan topik-topik sebegini yang sedang mendengar, insya-Allah kami akan menyusun banyak lagi konten live pada masa hadapan. Jangan lupa untuk follow media sosial Iman Plus di Instagram dan juga Twitter imanplus.com untuk mendapatkan maklumat terkini mengenai aktiviti-aktiviti kami. InsyaAllah sesi pada malam ini juga kita akan jadikan dia dalam bentuk podcast insyaAllah pada bulan hadapan, pada tahun hadapan. Jadi nantikan topik ini di dalam podcast kami di Spotify Iman Plus. Dan jika ada suka dengan konten-konten ataupun topik daripada Aiman Azlan, anda pasti berminat untuk mendengar celoteh beliau ataupun perkongsian beliau dalam online class Rising Bravely. Anda boleh dapatkan di imanplus.com dengan harga RM38, tapi anda boleh dapatkan dengan diskaun RM5 dengan menggunakan voucher code Aiman Azlan. Dan sekiranya anda di dalam stress, dalam anxious, ataupun anda sedang mencari passion and purpose tetapi masih lagi rasa anxious dengan masa depan yang tidak menentu ini, saya sarankan anda untuk mendengar online class yang bertajuk Are You Sad? Speakernya adalah Aiman Amri, partner in crime Aiman Azlan, dan beliau membantu kita untuk menguruskan diri, menguruskan emosi di saat kita dilanda stres dan juga anxious. Juga berharga RM38, gunakan voucher code Aiman Azlan ketika membeli di imanplus.com. Jangan sign up saja di imanplus.com, pastikan anda masuk ke dalam kad online class tersebut, buat pembayaran, jangan lupa masukkan voucher code Aiman Azlan, anda akan dapat diskaun sebanyak RM5 dan anda boleh tonton bila-bila masa sahaja kerana anda akan mendapat lifetime access kepada online class kita. Dapatkan buku Aiman Azlan juga yang bertajuk Unshakable ataupun Unbreakable dan juga Unfollow the Flow. Ada 3 buku bersama Iman Publication dengan diskaun sebanyak 20% di www.imanshop.com. Dan sekiranya anda ingin dapatkan diskaun tambahan, masukkan kod NAKJIMAT NAKJIMAT ketika check out dan anda akan mendapat diskaun additional 5% di imanshop.com. Dan juga seperti saya cakap tadi, kita akan ada special project, new project pada tahun hadapan bersama Aiman Azlan. Buku terbaru, online class terbaru juga. So pastikan anda follow Iman Publication, Instagram Iman Publication ataupun Instagram Iman Plus untuk mendapatkan maklumat lanjut ataupun maklumat terbaru mengenai projek terbaru Iman bersama Aiman Azlan pada tahun hadapan. Sehingga kita bertemu lagi dalam sesi live yang akan datang. Saya Zumali dari Iman Plus ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Aiman kerana sudi meluangkan masa pada petang ini untuk berkongsi dengan kita mengenai 3 aspek ini, between pressure, passion and purpose. Terima kasih kerana tuning in to this live kepada semua listener. InsyaAllah sekiranya ada saya mohon maaf dan atas kesalahan dan juga kesilapan yang berlaku sepanjang live ini. Terima kasih semua. Assalamualaikum dan selamat hujung minggu. Terima kasih Aiman kerana sudi meluangkan masa.
Saya Aiman Azlan daripada Perlis Malaysia, kembali ke angkasa purni. Bye semua. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Kesalan raya Aiman.
Episod Between Pressure, Passion and Purpose ini ialah kerjasama antara Iman Plus dan Aiman Azlan. Aiman Azlan ialah seorang youth mentor yang aktif memberikan khidmat nasihat dan bimbingan terutama kepada para remaja. Beliau juga ialah seorang penulis buku dan penceramah di laman web beliau aimanazlan.com. Beliau boleh ditemui di Facebook, Instagram, Twitter dan YouTube dengan handle @aimanazlan90. Episod Between Pressure, Passion and Purpose ini ialah sebahagian dari siri podcast Iman Plus yang bertajuk Perasaan Apa Ni? Podcast ini boleh didapati di Spotify Iman Plus dan juga YouTube Iman. Jangan lupa untuk subscribe Iman Plus untuk mendapatkan perkembangan episod terbaru. Anda boleh dapatkan maklumat lanjut mengenai podcast ini dan produk-produk lain Iman Plus di media sosial Iman Plus @imanplus.com di Instagram dan Twitter dan Iman Plus di Facebook. Subscribe newsletter Iman Plus dan layari online kos terbitan kami di imanplus.com pada hari ini. Sehingga episod yang akan datang, jaga diri dan jumpa lagi.